Speaking of difficult characters, Owen Jones at one point walked off a show you were on. What can you tell me about him?
I know. I mean, I'm just amazed that he's still a thing.
I think more and more extreme and sort of, off.
Well, got to do that for the likes. I mean, it became very clear to me. I was doing Sky News. This is years back, doing a newspaper review with Owen. And we were very friendly. In fact, that very evening, we'd been chatting about when his then partner and my husband and I were all going to have dinner together. I mean, we were very friendly. I'd certainly been very friendly to him that evening, trying to sober him up because he arrived rather drunk for doing television. I kept getting coffee for him and was basically choosing all the newspapers to do.
Does he have issues with alcohol?
I've no idea.
I didn't know. Yeah.
I just know that evening he said to me, I'm not. He told me, it was very clear. I didn't make that public at the time because I didn't think it was relevant to what he said. But he basically insisted that the news presenter and I, at the time, it was after a horrific shooting in a gay nightclub in Miami, wasn't it? I think, or certainly in Florida. And he insisted that we use the same language with him and insisted it was a homophobic attack. And we both said, well, it was a horrible attack and gay men were the victims, but we don't necessarily know the motive was. And it turned out, interestingly, that the actual killer was actually a gay man himself. So actually, we were rather proved right. But he stormed off the set because we refused. I remember saying, I'll use the language I want to use and you use the language you want to use, but you don't get to tell me what I say. And he then tried to get the presenter sacked. And the abuse that I was getting, I mean, he basically, just horrific. What amazed me was the number of people who got in touch with me who, from the left, colleagues of his at The Guardian and elsewhere, who got in touch to tell me that what an unpleasant human being he is, and how, I think it was one person put, I mean, he would sell his grandmother for one like on Twitter. I've had nothing to do with him ever since. I've repeatedly been invited on shows saying, oh, you're on with Owen Jones, and I would say, oh no, thank you, I won't come. And I've never said, don't invite him. I've always said, no, I'll drop out. That's fine, I don't want to do it. I won't debate with somebody who is called, he called me a bigot, he called me other. I won't debate with someone who he basically, we were homophobic. I was campaigning for gay marriage at the time. I can't imagine why anyone would think I was homophobic. I mean, he certainly didn't think I was 10 minutes before we went on air. When I'm inviting you and your boyfriend for dinner, me and my big homophobia, So my view was I don't want anything to do with him. And again, I'm not trying to silence him. I just don't want, I don't have anything to do with people who are that unpleasant. And there is nothing that he has done or said since. Not that I look at his tweets, don't care. But when things do pop up in my timeline, I'm never surprised by his wrong take on everything. Most of all, Israel.
Yeah. And
his willingness to defend the actions of not the Palestinian people, of Hamas, the terrorist organisation, the murdering, massacring Hamas, who by the way also terrorise their own people. I find, I'd like to say, surprising, but he knows. I think he knows no depths of moral depravity that he will not plumb to get a like on social media or applause at a platform in a public place. And I'm sure I'm an atheist, but I'm sure there's a special place in hell for people like that.
I think I'm probably naive, but I adhere probably too stringently to Hanlon's razor. They don't attribute to, what is it? Fuck, not another one. Don't attribute something to malice that could be to explained by stupidity or ignorance. I feel looking at him that he really believes that it's not just for tweets and or unless that's happening sort of subconsciously.
I think it's subconscious.
Yeah, but he doesn't think he's wrong. I mean, he looks like he's about to cry when he's talking.
Obviously, yes.
He's an ideologue.
Yeah. But this is a man who talks about how women get violence against women and girls, and how we must believe women and in all of this, and then when women are literally gang raped and mutilated and tortured by gangs of Hamas soldiers on October the 7th. And people are telling their stories, people who witnessed it, when the people who had to collect the bodies, when they talk about the horrific injuries, he says, well, we don't have the evidence, but we're supposed to believe the actress who got slapped on the arse by some actor.
Yeah.
Believe every woman. Oh, apart from the Jewish women. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's depraved.
Well, it even goes back to the argument, or the debate you had on air, where he was saying it was a homophobic attack. He didn't have the evidence, but in that moment, he was happy to go with it.
But I don't mind him using those words. He can use those words, but you don't get to tell everyone else what to say as well.